They were stretching because I came a little bit late. My cab missed its way. I don't know London, so and I take cabs everywhere. I don't take trains. My title today is very funny. There's a video of me that went online, and when it went online, the video was talking about whatever you do well. Amen? Amen. Okay. And my team prepared a slide for me, and the slide they prepared for me, I'm sorry, I'm very unconventional, so don't judge me. The slide they prepared for me had a couple of points. And I was telling my team that I looked at the slide a few minutes ago, that I was debating how to talk to you guys and how to present what I want to share with you, whether to tell you stories or whether to go aspire to perspire so that we can retire and refire. And I hate that. So I have decided that I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to tell you both, but I'm going to tell you stories. I think stories are more memorable when they are real. And I'm going to make sure that I tell you personal stories that potentially can help somebody. I'm a polarizing figure. I am the argument between iPhone and Android. Some of you will hate me at the end of today. Some of you will love me. For those of you that hate me, I hope I earn your respect. And for those of you that love me, I love you back. But I don't love you until you buy your ticket on wakanow.com. Okay? That's where I get paid from. Okay? I'm a fat guy, so I can't climb back up. Fat people have problems. They wanted me to go kart racing. I had to tell the guy that it's not a fat person action. There are some things that we don't do. But there's a guy in here, I know he spoke before me, his name is Damilare. Somebody find him. Damilare, are you here? Can you wave if you're here? Can you wave if you're here? He's back there. Can somebody look at him? Can you repeat after me? I will destroy you. I mean that sincerely. He thinks he can cook better than I can, and I will destroy him. I'm saying it publicly. I challenge him to a cook-off. Anywhere in the world, I will be there. You want to eat? Good job, right? Because whatever I do well. Whatever I do well. Even when it comes to sinning. If you've never gone out to drink with me, you have no idea what it means to party. I'm not even joking. If you've never traveled with me, you don't know what it takes to travel and have fun. If you've never gone to a boardroom with me, you don't know what it takes to fucking sit at the table with me and have an argument about the product. If you've never gone to a code review with me, I'm not the coder, my background is finance. Yes. But whatever I do my best to do it the best I can. So I'll tell you a story. I'll go personal. This is what I'm going to talk about. That's what they said I should talk about. I was born 1980. My father died when I was 2. Don't say, it's okay. And so I was raised by a single mom. I'm the last of 6. And when I was young, I have 4 sisters and 1 brother. I'm the last born. I used to beat my sisters up quite a bit. And when my mother comes back, usually from work, then she goes to church, like every other single mother. And then she comes back, my sister will go to my mother and say, Bayo slapped me, blah, blah, blah. My sister will go through this long rant on why I did it. And my mother will just tell me to go and kneel down, hands up and close my eyes. I would say, no, let me explain. She will say, no, you don't have to explain. Because the moment you pass me the mic, I cannot be at fault. I will talk myself out of that problem. I was verbally eloquent in convincing people that what I did was right, even when I committed a sin. And my mother understood that I had that skill. But in school, they did not know I have that skill. Nobody knew, because school was a place where, and I'm talking high school, was a place where we were all forming, everybody wanted to be cool. But I always, when they do literary debate society, I always look at the people debating, I'm like, if only I get a chance to speak. If only one day they pass me the mic. Because I was a day student, boarders, they'd make the call at night, during borders, during study prep. Thank you. And so by the time I get to school in the morning, decisions are already made, people to represent the school. So we're always left out. Then one day, the guy that was supposed to go represent us in Cabri Brain March fell sick. And he said, who can be the supporting debater? And I raised my hand. And that was the day my life changed. Because when we got to Cabri Brain March preliminaries, they did not tell me the topic. You see, they told me the topic in the car. On the way there, they said, hey, the topic is communication versus transportation. Which one is better? And when they told me that topic, in the car, I started racking my head. And when we got to the day that when it got to my turn, I was supporting debater. I was not the lead. When they passed me the mic, the guy had listed out a couple of points. I did not go about a new point. I just buttressed what he had done, what he had said. My lead had started. He had listed all the points that they prepped him, cram. I listened to him, and when it was my turn to get the mic, I took the mic. Good day, Mr. Chairman, sir, honorable panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, my co-debaters, and my most attentive audience. Let me tell you and emphasize on what my lead debater has said. And I went round and I talked and I spoke and I spoke. And when I was done, the room got up to give me a standing ovation. My first chance in life. I think about it. And from that moment, the next time we wanted to do a debate, guess who was lead? And every single time I left college, I left high school. When I got to college, I went back to my, in university, I went to anybody from Ife, yeah? Great Ife? Oh, good job. You didn't make it, but you are here. And in college, I was a cool kid in part 1. Nobody knew that I was studying demography and social statistics because it was not a cool course. I didn't pass enough in JAMB to get into economics. So, I was not interested in passing enough in JAMB, to be honest with you. I wrote JAMB to a point where I said, at this point I passed 200. But I found out that I was a deficient because when I could not get into economics, so they took me to the second best course, demography. They call it urban demo. Stupid fucking course. And I saw that we had a class rep in part 1. He didn't know that I was in demography. So I used to joke that the guy is studying social studies. I say demography and social studies were in the same course. But I thought in my mind that guy was not, in my mind, I'm very judgmental. So I look at him and say, I don't even know how he got into college. Because it did not fit who should represent us in our class. But I was not willing to put my hand up to represent us because they usually collect assignments. So when we were in part 2, going to part 3, the guy said he was going to run for Secretary General. I said, not on my dead body. Because you are not fit to lead us, therefore I will contest against you. Nobody knew me, so I ran against the guy. The guy had support, was class rep. He had support. Everybody in the class that did not know me was supporting the guy until manifesto night. They said, who should speak first, me or him? I said, him. He spoke. When they passed me the microphone, I spoke so eloquently and so well about the vision that I had for the department that people that were sitting on his side of the aisle physically got up and moved to my side. Literally, he only had his roommate and his girlfriend on his side. I brought back the talents that I'd earned over the years of speaking eloquently, of convincing people to my position. When we ran the election, I won flawlessly. I contested for president against that same guy. And on the night of the presidency, they had, when you've been in office, they started calling me thief and everything. They called me different names. By the way, the suit I was wearing that day was borrowed. My parents couldn't afford to buy me a suit. And as I got up to speak, they made me speak first. They had learnt their lesson. And when I got up there, I used past tense to describe what I was supposed to do, what I meant to do for them. I said, if I were president, I would have done X, Y, Z, just like I did when I was Secretary General. If I was president, I would have done this, I would have done that. And I concluded and said that, by the way, I resigned to contest because I do not want to be called a thief, and I don't want stealing to be attached to my name. Therefore, I think you should experience what evil looks like by appointing my challenger. His name is Jide Shofolao. I give you the opportunity to appoint him. And when you appoint him, you experience 1 year of retardedness, 1 year of backwardness, 1 year of preferring that Bayo was your president. Therefore, I do not contest tomorrow. I know that it's too late to remove my name from the ballot, but I will not even show up tomorrow. Guess what? I lost the election by 3 votes, and they had the worst year in the history of the country, of the department. And I was proud to do it at the time. But you see, the point is this: I knew what I was made of, and I knew what I was going to deliver, and I was willing to convince everybody of what I was going to deliver. Who the fuck are you? You see, people say whatever you do, do well. People say it by mouth, but can you actually practice it? Can you even speak it? Can you talk it? Can you then walk the walk? A lot of you talk, aspire to perspire. I hate the tech world. I hate the tech world. I hate the tech world because most of you in here sell $1 for 90 cents every day. $1 for 90 cents. You call it born. I call it bullshit. Can you walk the walk? But you see, you cannot walk the walk if you don't have precision and consistency. You see, consistency is doing the same thing over and over and over and doing it well. As I grew older, I learned what they call voice inflection. When I speak, I'll take you up, down, middle. I'll bring you up. When I see your emotions is doing it, I'll shake you a little bit. Voice inflection, so that you can hear my words. So I know my voice is bad. God had to punish me one way or the other. But precision and consistency is what makes you become somebody. You see, it's not about winning elections. It's not about winning positions. It's about delivering results. And you can only do that by precision and consistency, even if it is speaking. Like the example I gave you. Amen? Attention to detail. I will not go past this slide. They have more. Let me show you. You can drop the mouse. Attention to detail. When I got to America, I was very poor. I used to work for EcoBank. And then I used the bank's internet, like most of you did, to get to London, to apply for my visa, to get a scholarship. If I'm lying, say I'm lying. That you not use another company's internet to get here. Okay. Hey, I hear you. I hear you. Right? So I used EcoBank internet. I usually open the internet after 6 o'clock. So I would stay off in the office till late. And then I would, apply to the school. I went to Clark University. I went to an HBCU for my MBA. Proud school. I'm glad I went there. I didn't go to Harvard because I would have ended up more stupid. I went to Clark. They taught me how to survive America, basically. And that was all I needed. And when I was at Clark, I was a broke student. By the way, my mother died in 2003. So I didn't have anybody to call back at home. Literally. Everybody in my house was struggling to also find their feet, right? So I had to kind of figure it out myself. But I knew that I could survive on the barest minimum because I had already added weight before I left Nigeria. So I needed the barest minimum to survive. Damn Larry, are you here? You have to poke at your enemy as often times as you can. But I knew that I only needed an honey bun and one soda. One honey bun and one soda. One honey bun, one soda. Precision, consistency. Honey bun, soda. Honey bun, soda. But I did not have the money. The honey bun was 75 cents. The soda was 90 cents. But because I know that every time I go to the vending machine, if my quarter falls down under the vending machine, I will not pick it when I had money. So I always thought that everybody in there will not pick their quarters that falls under the vending machine. So I went to AutoZone. And I said, people that change their wiper blades, where do you keep the old ones? They said, oh, we dump it in one bin. So I collected one old one. It was free. I went to the nearby bush, I cut a stick. And then I put it by the wiper blade. I would go under every single vending machine in the company, in the school. I would sweep it out, a bunch of quarters. I will feed for a week on those quarters. Because when your quarters falls, it rolls under the thing. Nobody wants to go under that messiness to find money, quarters, and pennies. So I will sweep it out. I will pick it gradually. I will take it to the bathroom. I'll wash them. I'll count how many I have. I'll see how many meals can I get. Oh, by the way, you could also get Burger King Whopper Junior. It was $1. So when I'm proud, when I find too many quarters, I'm proud. I go all the way to Burger King. I buy one Burger King and collect water to support. But I survived. How did I survive? Detail. You see, detail allows you not to struggle where others. There was nobody else that knew that. I was the only person that knew that quarters is under the vending machine, and I had a roadmap of all the vending machines in the company. So in the school. So if I go to this department this week, I have to give it like 1 month so I can go back, and I go back to the next. I kept a tally of how much I picked up under the quarters in a year. I kept a tally. I picked up $940 under the vending machine in 1 year. That was money I didn't have to beg anybody for. Detail. You see, oftentimes people think that detail is this large thing. It's the finest thing. The finest detail. The simplest things. The things that you pay attention to. Right? If I meet you and I shake your hand, I always look down. I look at your shoe. I will never forget what you were wearing. You see, people think that doing well and changing things is about learning the full details of everything. It's about paying attention to the finest, the smallest things that nobody else is paying attention to. That's what makes people extraordinary. Ordinary people see ordinary things. Extra people see the extra things. The extra. That's what makes them extraordinary. Being extraordinary, it's you committing to pay attention. You see, paying attention is a commitment. It's a commitment. Commitment. You have to decide. You know, I said we're going to church. Amen? You have to decide that I want to pay an extra attention to the detail. I've been in travel 5 years. And then I go into a room with people, gurus in travel, that have been there for donkey years. And I'm talking, they're looking at me that, Ogbeni. And I'm like, oh, wow. I am the youngest CEO in travel of a major travel company in Nigeria. And I think the youngest of a major travel company in West Africa. And I think the youngest CEO of a travel company in West Africa and in Africa. I don't know about the world, because everybody does not think that there's money in travel. Let me just quickly give you this as you go away. Wakana is on track to do $800 million of sales this year. We're going to generate revenue of about $35 million with EBITDA of about $12 million. Easy. We're not aspire to perspire. We're not burning any cash. We have pure EBITDA. And our balance sheet is healthy as hell. We're not buying POS and putting on our balance sheet. Sorry. I chose stones. Don't worry, I chose stones. Detail. But you see, when I take you to the world of travel, I decided what I don't want to learn and what I want to learn. I don't know how to write anything. We use Amadeus, we use Sabre, we use Galileo. I cannot write you a ticket. I cannot ticket a ticket. But every process that happens before that, all the way to booking class, to price, to this, I can explain to the last detail. When you call me and tell me your problem that, oh, I got to the airport, they said I will not fly. I said you have a visa problem. It's not a ticket problem. Tell me your visa. You tell me, oh, I was going to London, I bought a Air France ticket. I said, that means that you don't have blue, red passport. It means that you are flying on visa. You cannot fly through Air France KLM. You need a transit visa. Detail. And customers call me. As group CEO, customers call me to say, Guy, I want to buy a ticket. I understand our website works. I understand all the connections to our website. I can tell you all our inventory sources by country. By country. Inventory source. Right now, the Wakana website has about 48 inventory sources. We're trying to grow that to 200 inventory sources. So when you search, we go search 200 places to come and give you price. People now say, why are we the biggest? But you see, I know the detail. You know, I had lunch with David Beckham last week Saturday. He's online. The picture is online. I'm very proud of that. That was my proudest moment. Right? I'm not joking. He was sitting across me at the lunch table at the F1 in Doha. And as I looked at him, I looked at every single tattoo on his body. He's very tatted up. I do not know. It's super tatted up. And I was looking at every single tattoo, memorizing the pictures of all the tattoos. And please, you have to keep me honest on time, or I have a tendency of. And he thought you guys continue going with me. Please, let's get baskets for donation after, because they did not pay me for this. They actually collected my money. That's why my name is on top of everybody else. But you see, the point is, even in that moment, I was paying all the attention that I could. I wanted to understand, he was a soft-spoken guy. We talked about his wife. I talked about his kid. He told me about his kid that is culinary school, that's trying to be a chef. One that is trying to release a song soon, that is an artist in New York that just signed with Columbia Records or thereabout, right? And I sat there like me. Okay, let me talk about this. I was talking to somebody about it yesterday. I've never had imposter syndrome till that day. That moment, I had to go to the bathroom and go and stand in front of the mirror. Wait, Bayo, lion. Their father will not be caught uncool. Detail. I have one more. How many of you are in retail? Sorry, how many people are not in retail? If you are not in retail, can I ask you to please get up? If you don't mind, please, do me that favor. You are doing me a major favor. If I am not in retail, in the world of retail, please stand up. I am not in retail. Stand up. I do not do anything in retail. Stand up. You see, they've started asking clarifying questions. Let me tell you now. Everybody look around, the people standing up. Those are the confused people in the room. Now, please ask me why. Everybody is in retail. Do you have a CV? You are retailing yourself. Do you have a product? You are retailing yourself. You go into the room to convince your team. You are in retail. And retail is detail. Let me say it again. Amen? We're having too much fun. This is why I do not like panel. Where's peace? I can't find her. I don't like panel. I hate panels. Because you have to wait for the other person to finish talking. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody here in this world is a retailer. It's just that the commodity that we sell is different. And retail is all about detail. And so if you don't know the details, you cannot retail it. Somebody walks into the room and say, guy, tell me your strength. That's why when people come and do interview with me, they always fail woefully. Because my interviews, you'll be prepared to come and talk to me about something. I walk and I say, guy, what's going on? Because number one, when you polish your shoe, okay, let me tell you, I'm inside a group. I know they talk about networking and stuff. And today I told them I have a lot of dark thoughts that I cannot share publicly. So I'll share a little bit with you now. But just don't judge me. Okay? When people enter my office and they wear lace-up shoe that they cannot wear without unlacing the shoe, I feel that they will struggle to survive with me. So when they walk in and I see that Chelsea boot that they have to lace up gradually, I'm like, pressure to my finger, boy. For those that don't understand, I don't understand Yoruba, raise up your hand. And those that understand will explain to you at the end of the program. I will not help you. Oftentimes, people walk into my office to have an interview with me. They don't even know who I am. They have no idea. And I see them and I know in myself that no matter how brilliant you are, I should not hire you. Because people think it's qualification that makes a difference in hiring. People think it's about the skill set that you bring to the table. Except you can write code. Then we don't care whether you know anything or not. But once you leave the realm of code writing and you want to move to that next layer, we care about if you can pay attention to detail. Inside Wakana, we have 7 leadership principles. When I know that the candidates are not, sometimes I walk downstairs to see whether they're even looking at the principle. Because you will notice that my line of questioning will be around our principles. Number 1, customer focus. Number 2, insist on the higher standard. Number 3, long-term focus. Number 4, Number 4, insist on the higher standard, long-term focus, customer focus. Number 5, I will skip number 4. Number 5 is result is everything. Result is everything. Everything. You can be an asshole if you can have results. We'll manage you in your assholery. We'll build you an asshole house. Just be cranking out results. Number 6, higher chain, retain the best. Number 7, frugality. Number 4 has eluded me. And I look whether the candidate is even paying attention to those things. I'm looking whether the candidate is looking at what we are wearing. Because then you enter my office, come and have a chat with me, and they've isolated my office because of my problems. They isolated me to the highest floor. So you're going to walk through the entire building, see a ton of people. Then they ask me, what's your dress code? I think to myself, I will not hire. Because if they paid a little attention, they will see that number 1, I wear jeans or I'm wearing native. But there was a guy wearing jeans, there was a guy wearing short knicker, there was a guy wearing this, there was a guy wearing high heel. There's one chick wearing high heel up and down the floor, running around to get something done. Everybody was dressed the way they felt comfortable. So why ask me detail? So sometimes we ask stupid questions in the name of question asking and sounding intelligent, but really we just expose ourselves that we don't pay attention. And let me say this to you, most Nigerians and most black people don't pay attention. I'm sorry to break your heart. And attention is detail. I'll move on to the next one because of time. Yeah, thank you. That would be 100 pounds. I need drinking money. You know, when people talk about problem solving, we always think about these grand things. And sometimes, the problem in front of you is very small. You know, I'll tell you a story. When I worked at Walmart, I had this attitude I learned from Texas Instruments, that when you open a file, every time you touch that Excel file, I'm a finance guy, so we work quite a bit in Excel, that automate that Excel file 1 step each time you open it. So if you open an Excel file 20 times a month, it's going to be 20 times better than last month. And 20 times better next month than last month. You get to a point where the file will be doing the job itself. Literally. I did not know it was a skill set. And I was solving problem. Because at every point that I automated, I removed the human intervention inside the file. So the file got better. So when I got to Walmart, I continued that attitude. Each time I write another code, let me just tell you, me too, I don't know anything. It's YouTube we are using. YouTube. I just go to YouTube and say, how can I type, how can I automate the refreshing of, I connect my file to, let's say, a SQL database because I've done a back-end connection, and then I don't want to click the file and through my VBA code, click refresh. So I want it to refresh while you open it, right? I've not done these things in a while, so don't judge me if things have changed. So I went on YouTube, Googled it, and I did it. And it was just the simple things because I want my life to be easy. I like soft life. I like to come to work and do the hard things. I don't want to spend time inside Excel file. I think Excel file is for analysts. So if you ever want to be a manager, you hate Excel. Not because you don't know how to use it, but you want to figure out a way to automate the process that an analyst can do it. Because managers don't work in Excel. Managers manages. Director directs. Vice presidents lead. And presidents lead. They sit on top. So where you desire to go is the things that you want to solve for. But oftentimes people start thinking about grand problems. I think about the smallest problem because you know what damages the entire pie? The entire pie is damaged by the small things. Salt. You can damage your entire dough, your entire meat pie by salt. The smallest thing, the tiniest thing. detail, problem. So, and if you truly want to be exceptional, you must pay attention to those little things and solve them. When I took over Waka now, I used to just spend time and sit down outside. Whenever I have some time, I'll just go and sit down outside and I'll look at the immigration or emigration of our people in and out of the building. And there was a guy selling food beside us called Papa D's. And they will go there to go and eat. So one day I went there and joined them to eat. And we gisted and gisted and gisted and gisted. And we lost 2 hours of productive time. The moment we made more profit, I built a cafeteria inside the office. You cannot go out to eat. You are going to eat inside this office. And by the way, I did not put enough chairs, so somebody else is waiting for your chair. So you eat, get up, and go back to work. What have I done? I've cut unproductive time to a smaller number. Oh, we'll be thinking about grand strategy of how we're going to layer on top AI on top of the thing. Baby boy and baby girls, we don't need AI when you have human problems. And oftentimes you overcomplicate the problem because you're not thinking about the small things. And if you want to truly be good at what you are and what you want to become, you must pay attention to the things that look mundane. Because that is how you solve problems. I tell people that solving problems starts from the cater. You start from the small part and then build up gradually. Gradually. Solving problems sometimes is paying salaries on time. On time. No rocket science, just on time. Solving problems sometimes is standing in front of your people and promising them and delivering. Being a man of your word or a woman of your word. But you see, a problem-solving mindset says, let me understand it. It goes back to number 1, precision, consistency. Number 2, I can't hear you. Because when you now pay attention to the detail, then you can now solve the problem. But you cannot solve a problem you do not know. Let me now tell you one more. If you cannot explain it simply, it means that you don't understand it well enough. I'll say it one more time. If you cannot explain it simply, with simple words, it means that you don't even have understanding. So when you start talking about problem and you start with using big English, I know you don't understand. And I build my building blocks that if you want to truly be exceptional and be good at what you do, take the time to understand and then you can solve. And I'll say one more thing. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Nobody is Superman. Superman is on TV. Nobody. Nobody has monopoly of knowledge. Nobody has it all. I think I'm a super smart guy, but I always tell people that the most important people in this organization are the people that I cannot do their jobs. The gate man. Because you see, the gate man knows things that you do not know. You have no idea that when you go home, there's one girl that comes to sleep inside the building. You have no clue. And if you think that you can diminish that person, then your organization fails. Solving problem means that you become, because you become humble enough to learn your problems, to learn the organization. And when you become humble, you start to recognize and appreciate that, you see, organizations are built like blocks. Everybody matters. My calendar had an address that was incorrect. That's why they were telling you to go and work and stuff, to wait for me. Because somebody put the wrong address on my calendar. It made me delay all of you. So to solve the problem means that you must start from the small things. And it means that you must respect everybody that works in your organization. Because they can become a problem. They can become that salt. They can truly become that salt. I know, I'm fucking with your emotions. The last one. I love this one. And you know, I'm ex-Amazonian, so there are a couple of things that I learned at Amazon. There are a couple of things that I didn't spend a lot of time at Amazon. I spent about a year and a half. And I loved Amazon. By the way, let me tell you my Amazon story so I can get your emotions back up. It looks like I've gone down the deep. I was taking a dump when I was at Walmart. And, sorry. Your emotions are tied to dumps. And, you know, when you're in the bathroom, you read, right? So I picked up a New York article about Amazon and how terrible it was that people were committing suicide I mean, I started applying for job right there and there. I said, that's the place I've been looking for. Because I was living in Bentonville, Arkansas, and we're very passive-aggressive. And I was born a lion. I was born a freaking lion. I like aggression. Anywhere there's problem, I run towards it. I like problem. I like problem. I love problem. So I was reading the article about how terrible it was to work at Walmart and how people were committing suicide. Everybody was depressed. The article said that 48% of the Amazon employee had depression of some form. I was applying for the job. They did not hire me till 3 years later. When I got to Amazon, I thought it was going to be hard. And I found out, forget. Yeah, they are just stupid. They just have degrees. Harvard, wealthy, they will come to the room and say, I went to MIT, so I know. I say, you don't go to MIT, you went to Sloan School of Business inside MIT. Only engineers went to MIT. Rest, we know more maths than you. You are doing first level derivation. When you are looking for the second level curve of your quadratic equation, there was the second level dy dx. So you are wrong. But rest. Me, I will go to the board, and you know all this story they taught us in Nigeria. They are using it to buga white people. They say, hey, let me show you the math. Let me show you the. Are you joking? I even know the person that wrote it. His name is Theorem. I'm joking. But there was one thing I loved. I was not the only one that had commitment to good work. It was a way of life in that organization. A way of life. A way of life. A way of life to pay attention to the detail, to have consistency and precision, to be wanting to solve problems, but to understand that we are not going to go haphazard. That's why they call it a one-way door or a two-way door. That if it's a one-way door, we're going to be meticulous. We're going to be careful. We're going to take our time. We're going to make sure we get it right the first time. But you see, if you cannot commit to quality, you cannot be good at everything that you do. And I mean that only. Quality means that you pay attention. You see, it goes back to all this stuff. I think they found this thing online or ChatGPT because it's too good. I told you I wasn't the one that wrote it. Me too, I'm using it. But it's a commitment. It is you committing your soul to deliver good work. That what comes out of me must be good. What comes out of me, what has my name on it, must be good. Must be good. What comes out of me, what has my name, must be good. Now, oftentimes, and I'm going to close now, is people think that what you do in the organization matters. I had a driver that drove me one time, and the guy was speaking English like he just came out from London. Oh, should I turn left, sir? Should I park left? It was a new driver. I had to ask him, English, yeah, English is too good to be a driver. He said, okay, I could not find work, so I took a driver job because you pay better than some other jobs. The next week, the guy resumed the customer service. Right now, the guy is a supervisor. I'm sure he's on his way to become something. Let me tell you why. He was good at driving first. If my life was his danger when I was in his car, I would not pay attention to his English. Oftentimes, you guys need to learn that what you do does not matter. It's your commitment to output. Your commitment to output. Your commitment to good output. You would say, manage it like that. It's okay that way. We should accept it. That's fine for now. Those are words of mediocrity. Mediocre words. That is what. Those are words of mere men. But you see, you guys have not come to terms that you want to be a God. Let me say it again. I'll say it slowly this time. The day you accept that I want to be a God, and by the way, everything I talked about today is for people that desire to be gods. Gods. Animals. You see, an animal has no emotions. When an animal is chasing a prey, it does not think of anything, it thinks only of that prey. It chases and chases and chases until it kills. It doesn't win on that one, it goes back to retreat. It goes back to hunt. It goes back to retreat. It's not driven by the emotions and by the things that drive you. It's not driven by shame. It's not driven by all the things that happiness, love, hate. No. It's driven by one quest. Food. And you see, gods are made from being animals. Because in their quest for dominance is what makes them gods. And to be a god means that what comes out of you must be godlike. Godlike. It must be authority. It must be quality. I believe gods are made. I believe that when we're all born as gods. But you made a choice. Whether to commit to quality or to be mediocre. It doesn't mean anything. It has nothing to do with wealth. Nothing. Nothing. Wealth is a byproduct of if you get it or you don't. Because gods just get dominant. I love dominance. I like when I understand. I like when I'm consistent and I have precision on the product and that I commit. You see, I tell folks that a lot of you looking at me now cannot commit to anything. Anything. You cannot commit. We say, let's go drink. You cannot even commit. Let's go eat. You cannot even commit. I don't mean that you not go. You go there haphazardly, then do not come. Gods do not show up haphazardly. They show up in glory and majesty. That is godlike. That means that when I show up, you get the best out of me. You get the best out of me. When you give me an assignment and I accept it, you get the best out of me. When I tell you I'm going to join your company and I shake your hand, I'm going to join your board, you get the best out of me. It means that when you give me a target, you get the best out of me. And I mean, I will deliver that quality. I will not sleep. I will not rest. I will not take a break. I will get it done. I will get it done and I'll do it well. And we're going to make money. Brother, we're going to make money. Sister, we're going to be rich. Because we are together. And because, you see, it's a commitment that a lot of people cannot get to. So today with me, brothers and sisters in Christ, you want to accept that you want to commit. You want to commit to pay attention. You want to commit to be precise and to be consistent. You want to commit to think about the problem from the minutest level. You want to then commit to output. Because ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, we're not judged about what we consume. We're judged about the output that comes out of us. That's the quality that we deliver. And that quality is what makes a difference between you and I. Between you and the next guy. Between the male and the female. Between the guy, the boss, and the subordinate. It's not about your intelligence. People get it twisted and think it's about intelligence. It's not. It's not about your brilliance. Sorry, fuck your academic qualifications. It does not matter. Because when we get to that playing field, it's like we're going to war. What matters is, can you kill the next guy? I don't mean physically. Don't get me twisted now. But can you defeat? Can you go to battle? Can you deliver? Can you win wars? Can you win battles? Can you go to market? Can you deliver to the customer? Is the customer happy? Is the customer willing to pay you $2 for your $1 product? Thank you very much for having me.